You're telling us that it actually took you 2 weeks to get out after the date that you intended to get out?
Yes, we had to actually pay somebody ourselves out of pocket to come and plow. They had to walk.
Ms. Verdict, did you see the photographs of the snow?
I'm looking now for the first time.
You don't deny that there was indeed a snow emergency declared by the state.
Unfortunately, I'm seeing a date of March 23rd. Am I missing another exhibit showing a date more relative to their move out?
There was a storm every week.
Move out was
for 2
in
months.
March, right?
March 2nd.
Our move out was March 2nd. The state of
But
emergency
the snow was already on the ground for which they declared a
the
emergency days
there
later,
was back-to-back storms
You
after
weren't
that.
there, though.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I was required to have an emergency contact in Idlewild that could respond to any kind of emergency. That person kept me aware if there was some emergency happening in real time.
But do you have a receipt for the bill to remove the snow?
Yes.
And what date is that?
It happened on Thursday, March 2nd.
And it cost you how much?
That was the date. This one was $150, and the first one before.
Why didn't you move out then when you had it removed?
Oh, we couldn't get the moving truck there. They couldn't get up even the mountain itself. There's not moving trucks.
And when was the moving truck able to get in?
They came up hoping they could do it on March 12th, which they did, but because of where they had to park and how much snow was still there, they charged us an additional $300 because of the conditions.
We got storms right on top.
So
Right.
your
Back to back.
basis for bad faith is her withholding the money,
Not returning it when she was supposed to, having us try to vacate during this time with all of this snow. When, I mean, she wasn't doing anything with the property. We even offered to pay the utilities if she could break it down for us between the front and the back, and at that point, nothing.
Or
We were
installing a
never
meter.
told she was selling the property to this investor.
Ms. Verdict, how were the bills so high if they didn't even have heat?
I don't know.
We don't know either. I
Well,
wish we did, because
This was the time that she actually had the Airbnb being
Some of it.
used. So it was the front house that was using all the electricity, not us. Bottom line.
Do you doubt that there was a state of emergency going on the entire month of March?
Yes, because
You do.
I printed the weather history for the
Yeah.
month of March in 2023 that shows average temperatures and times.
Do you have that?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, because what I have is the proclamation of a state of emergency from Governor Newsom on March 1st, March 8th, March 12th, March 14th, and March 28th. And you still doubt that there was a state of emergency going on?
The reason why is because that district is also comprised of Big Bear that does get an excessive amount of snow. So I isolated just Idlewild so that I could show what we were actually dealing with in this.
I mean, you saw their photographs, right?
Because this is the first time I'm seeing these photographs, I'm a little bit surprised that this wouldn't have been shared with me in real time.
That's kind of what comes when you delegate responsibility for a property in another location.
100%. My decision to sell the property was
In part
not
for that
only financial loss, I really felt like I was better served dealing with things that I could immediately go to and address.
I'm good.
All right, we'll excuse the parties while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Nevey, Mr. Gorman, and Ms. Verdict, we have deliberated and reached a verdict. Our verdict was not unanimous. There is a partial dissent with respect to one of the items. With respect to the heating costs, you had a duty to mitigate your damages. You could have bought a $40 space heater, and she would have footed the bill. So we're going to deny that claim. Well, we're not going to award you additional moving expenses either. We just don't think there's a basis for that. We all three agreed that your security deposit was over-withheld, so that you're entitled to a partial refund. We disagreed on the amount. Judge Tuwelde and I believed that you're required to pay rent until you vacated. This was definitely a state of emergency. There was circumstances beyond your control. At an absolute minimum, you were going to have to pay rent for the first and the second anyway, because you were there for 2 days by agreement. So certainly there was some rent owed for March. Judge Corriero would have wiped it clean and said that you don't have to pay for any of March, and therefore returned to you your entire security deposit, rather than just a part of it. Nonetheless, majority rules here, and so we believe that your security deposit was over-withheld by $500 because the defendant retained a portion of it to cover additional days of rent after you were gone.
Okay.
We didn't believe there was bad faith. We're not going to treble damages here. This was not a well-managed property, but certainly nothing suggests bad faith on the part of the landlord.
Okay.
And that is the verdict of the court in favor of the plaintiffs for $500.